don't worry about the time because watch how long this one goes. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Lance Condishero, and I am married to Clarence and Grace's daughter, Kathy. And I guess before I start sharing also, I just wanted to say that it's a great honor for me also just to be able to spend a few minutes with you and share some experiences and some thoughts I have about this great man also. I remember the very first time I met Clarence at his home in Eagle Rock. It was around this time of the year, late fall, like 24 years ago. Kathy invited me over to come hang out and watch a movie or something, and we weren't even dating at the time. It was kind of early on. I had my sights set on her though, but so I went over there. Actually, I don't even remember she invited me over. I may have just shown up. But, for sake of this story, we'll say she invited me. The movie that we were going to see was Stephen King's It. And if you're not familiar with it, some of you guys might have heard of that movie. If you're not familiar with it, it's a movie about a really scary clown and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, cool, it's great, right? You watch this really scary movie with this girl for the first time. I'm sure we're going to be snuggling up on the couch at some point. Mainly because I'm terrified of clowns. And it happened. The movie started, and there we were on the couch. Here's Kathy, here's me, and then here's Grace, and there's Clarence right here on his lazy boy, joining us for the movie. And the clown was, if I remember correctly, pretty scary. And if you ask me how the movie was, I don't know. I can't remember because Clarence talked to me the entire time, all 2 hours straight. And I guess I should have known that was a sign of things to come, I guess, in our future. During the next few months, it was a good time in the Hero house. A lot of big things were going on. I remember Kathy just started her first job, her first elementary school teaching job at that time. Steve, at the end of that month, I think at the end of November, right, got notice that he passed the bar. Kirk, Clarence's golden child, was engaged and getting married in just a few months to another pharmacist yet. And then there was Doug. If Doug was living large at that time, I think you were probably 20 or 21. And if I could trace places with any of the 4 siblings, it would have been Doug at that time. I remember seeing him a bunch of times, getting ready, getting all, doing his hair and getting all ready to go out. And it was 11 o'clock at night and he was going out. He's going out when everyone else was going to bed. But in addition to those things, something else pretty cool was going on also. And I don't exactly know why or how it started, but I mentioned that Kathy started teaching, so she would go to bed like really early. She'd go to bed like at 8:45 during the week or something, or maybe by 9 o'clock then. I guess she wanted to do a good job or something. So what happened was I just started hanging out with Clarence after she went to bed. And we'd talk and we'd watch TV, and I remember there's a lot of basketball games involved, and inevitably one of us would look at each other and say, "Hey, are you hungry?" And it was always yes. So I made a bunch of trips to Tommy's and Jim's and Casa Bianca. I even went down to J-Town a bunch of times just to get us food. And if you ask me what we talked about, I couldn't tell you now, but I know that those times were very special to me and times that I'll definitely never forget. Up until recently, I used to think, man, he must have really liked me, to spend all that extra time with me and to stay up with me. And just the other day, I'm not kidding, just 2 or 3 days ago, I thought of this other scenario that may have been a possibility. I was thinking, Kathy was living in her home and her bedroom wasn't that far away. He probably wanted to hang out until he made sure that I left the house. Beyond there, as life went on through the next 20 years, the Hero family, they've always been close anyways within Clarence's family. That's just the way they were brought up. So that was long before I entered the picture. After I joined the family and got to spend a lot of time with the family, just on the numerous family vacations, Monday night dinners, like Stan referred to, holidays, and we were just getting together for no reason. I think I really got to have a really good understanding of who Clarence was and what he was made of and what he was about. And externally, when you see Clarence, sometimes. You know, he's kind of a little old school, right? He could be really honest. He's going to tell you what's on his mind. He'll tell you if you're doing something wrong. He can be a little intimidating, maybe in certain situations. But beyond that, he had a giant heart, you know, and he had a giant heart for people. And I could go on right now and talk about a lot of different traits related to this giant heart, but let me just narrow it down to three. One I kind of started to talk about already is just that he had just a desire to interact with people, right? He just had an uncanny ability to talk to anybody. You know, he loved talking to all of his friends, all of his family members. I'm sure he could have an hour-long conversation with anybody in his church. Stuff. He probably did at some point and stuff. But even more impressive was that he could actually talk to the most complete random of strangers also. And I witnessed that numerous times where he'd sit next to someone on a plane, in a restaurant, at a gym or something, and just strike up an amazing conversation with that person. And I think he used to actually play a game, maybe consciously or subconsciously, but he was going to, no matter how long it took, find one person that he and that person knew, right, that they had in common and stuff. And I think that he was successful almost every time. You know, shortly after Clarence passed away, my younger son Ryan, just in passing, said to me, "Hey, Dad, you remember when Grandpa used to talk to us, and sometimes it'd be for a really long time, and we kind of wish he would stop?" He said, "You know, I kind of miss those times now and stuff." And you know, I agree. I miss those times also. He just had just a desire just to talk to everybody and stuff. So. Secondly, you know, Clarence was very generous. Maybe one of the most generous men I've ever met. He was very smart, obviously very intelligent. Uncle Stan also mentioned his just business savvy, and he had this incredible knack for picking winners in the stock market. So God certainly blessed him and stuff throughout his life. And I think Clarence, he knew that. And as Clarence's, financial stability kept growing, his generosity grew even faster. And he would just, without hesitation, help people out, make donations. He probably picked up, 2,000 tabs in my lifetime with him. He was just so generous. He wanted to share that generosity with other people and make them feel good. When Kathy and I would go to dinner with our kids, with our three kids, and one of them would ask, "Hey, Dad, can I order a $3 soda?" My standard answer was, "You see Grandpa here?" Enjoy your water. Lastly, and probably most important, with Clarence loved his friends and his family. And he wasn't shy to talk about that either and stuff. So church was full. See people standing up. And that's just evidence of just the relationships that he built over his lifetime. And he had so many friends. He was so proud of all of his kids. He loved his wife. When the grandkids came around, that became like a rejuvenation for him, I guess, and stuff. And he just loved his grandkids. So the 9 of you, I'm sure that he was thinking about you guys until the very end. He just loved to spoil the 10 of them. And 10, I mean the 9 kids and Kathy. Let me leave you with this one last thought. My oldest son, Colby, is a senior in high school, and he's in the throes of college applications. And part of that process is needing to write a personal essay about something important in your life or something that's affected your life. And without going into too much detail, he talked to Clarence, and we knew Clarence was probably 1 or 2 weeks away from passing away at that time. And the theme of his essay is living a life with no regrets, because that's what his grandfather told him and stuff. And I didn't know which Uncle Stan was going to share, but apparently he shared that with Keston 5 years ago also. And Kobe's essay was about what do we do as younger people to make sure that we live our lives that way, so that we're in his position later on, hopefully many years down the road, that we can have that same feeling, that I lived a life with no regrets. So, if you ask me, am I sad? You know, I'm sad. I'm sad that Claire passed away. I'm going to miss talking to him. I'm going to miss just the interactions with him. I'm sad that his family, his wife, and all of you, all his friends, aren't able to interact with them also. But if you ask me if I'm overly sad, I'm not. And I hope that didn't come out the wrong way. But when you realize that a man lived his life to the fullest, and that he accomplished so much, that he set goals and went way beyond on any of those goals, it's hard to be sad. I'm almost thankful. I'm thankful to God for giving him the kind of life that he gave him from the start to the end. He, not long before he passed away, and this would be a direct quote, he told us, I can't remember who was in the room, that he's got nothing left on his bucket list. He's ready to go and stuff like that. So he was definitely one who, I think, lived life the right way, and for that I was proud to be a part of it. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Lance.